I'm here tonight with David Carr Jr. Who inspired you to be a part of the music industry?
My father. My father, he called him Big Dave. Big Dave Carr. He's a kind of this imposing figure. He's about 6'8", had this really deep voice, and he was a tenor sax player. And I heard him play, and I made my mind up that's what I wanted.
Is the saxophone the only instrument you ever played?
Well, most good musicians can play proficiently a lot of different instruments. I wouldn't say I'm a keyboard player, but I play enough to record my music. You can see my studio behind me. And I play enough bass guitar to play enough, to play bass in some of my tracks. And so I'm a saxophonist that did what was necessary to record my tracks. Okay. To be able to record and produce.
What's your main inspiration?
My dad first, and after that would be Grover Washington Jr. Yeah, he was the one that I latched on to pretty hard, and then it kind of grew from there. A lot of different other saxophone players, different artists. I'm a Nine Inch Nails fan, a Yes fan, an Aerosmith fan, all the R&B. I'm a fan of all that. I get my influences from a lot of those saxophone players, mainly my dad and Grover Washington. Those two.
We're gonna play your track
Salient Touch.
Salient Touch.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you have anybody working with the song to put it all together and stuff?
That's all me.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all me. Out of necessity. Occasionally, I have guys come in. Occasionally, we'll play a little bass on some things, or maybe a little guitar. But 99% of the time, I'm doing all the tracks.
Okay.
All the production and all that stuff. So.
Okay. Tell me about your worst and best performance you ever had.
I don't know. I don't. For me to say a best about okay, here we go. The worst one was, and this wasn't my fault. Is I was sitting for a show, tickets sold, people, dinner and all that kind of stuff like that. Place was packed. I was running my own sound, and at the last minute, just when I was getting ready to go up and change clothes, so I could come back and be the performer, since I'm running sound, my audio board blew completely out.
Wow. And
people are already walking in. Now, the show still went well, but I would say that's probably my work because I was so stressed out and had to force my way through. So that's probably, if I had to say there was a worst. And we still put on a hell of a show. The best show I ever put on is the one I put on with my old man before he passed away. I invited him down. I had got sponsored through the city of Dallas to do 3 or 4 concerts. And one of the shows, I hired my dad to come down and play with me. And fortunately, I got it on video and everything. And so I would say in my life, that is the single best show I ever put on because I got to perform my dad in a concert setting.
Wow.
So that's my best performance. And I will never, ever do anything that cool again. Nothing will compare to it, I guess is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how many people come or whatever. Yeah, that's my best. That was my best one.
That was probably uplifting too.
Oh my God! It was. I look at it now and I just, that was 30 years ago. He passed away 30 years ago, February, and I still remember it clear as a bell. My best friend, hell of a musician, hell of a man.
What's next for you?
Well, what's on my list is to build this David Carr Jr., the DCJ Orchestra. That's my next project I'm working on, and it's pretty extended because you're talking like maybe an 18-piece band, including strings and singers and horn sections, and because my music kind of warrants that kind of thing. I know Kenny G's doing he's doing a concert now, and he's saying how his music warrants an orchestra. I guess we all feel that way. I know mine needs an orchestra. It needs an orchestra kind of feel to it. There's a lot of production goes in my music. It's big music. My music is big music.
Okay. If it wasn't for a music career, what would you be doing right now?
I'd probably be one of those athletes that, because I was pretty athletic in high school. Never really got to play on a starting team or anything like that, but I was really good as an athlete, but you couldn't do both. You couldn't play music and be in the sports. So I chose music. So if it weren't for that, I would have been an athlete, and I'd be one of these retired athletes. Knowing me, I'd have went pro, and I'd have been good at it. Then athletes have a shelf life. So I'm 61 years old, so that would have been over for me a long time ago. Long time. Long time.
Okay. Where can people go and see your music, videos, and events?
YouTube, like online.
Yes.
Or, just there's a ton of YouTube videos. I'm currently working on a concert style music production that hopefully will be available sometime soon. Putting those things together. That's part of that DCJ orchestra thing I'm trying to do. But there's lots of videos out there on me. Even back when I was a kid, playing with some of the bands I played with coming up. They're pretty fun to watch. To watch my younger evil twin. Big old Michael Jackson afro and everything. So it's pretty fun to watch this stuff. And I've got more current stuff that some of the there's a couple tracks off my DCJ4 album. I only did one video on that album called Sassy Ass. That's a hot little video. And that's one that I actually co-produced with a friend of mine in LA a few years. That's on my fourth album. That was 10 albums ago. It's hard to remember, believe that. And I'm always writing and composing. And it's hard to date any of my music, even if you listen to the first album or the latest one, even though I've been doing this for 30 years, because I don't write according to what's current. I don't write that. I don't compose my music that way. I compose it and produce it the way I feel like it needs to go. Has nothing to do with the times.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on the show tonight. I really enjoyed meeting you.
Pleasure was mine. Pleasure to meet you, man.